5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The starting lineups for Knoxville Catholic High School on the offense. Number 3, Amari Rogers. Number 4, Jeffrey Wood. Number 5, Hunter Counts. Number 8, Cam Blakely. Number 16, Chase Cunningham. Number 43, Bo Holland. Number 53, Jonathan LeBlanc. Number 54, Jake Coffey. Number 55, Brian Tucker. Number 68, Cade Mays, and number 78, Cooper Mays.
Want to talk a little bit about the off-season. Had a really good off-season in January in the strength conditioning program under Coach White. Had an outstanding spring practice, scheduled Oakland. A lot of people around the state thought we were crazy for doing that. For any people that were there or saw us scrimmage them, you realize we can play with anybody in the state. We proved that against them. We are very extremely lucky to be a part of Knoxville Catholic. Myself, the coaches, the players, the parents, I've been other places. There's nothing that touches this. When you talk about the education that these young men are getting over in the school building, the faculty is outstanding. They really care about these young men. The average ACT score, I think it's 26, 27, it's incredible. And everybody in the school takes the ACT. It's really an amazing place. At graduation last May, watching the seniors graduate, the young men and young women, hearing the schools they are going off to, and all this money and scholarship. I think 95% of the graduating senior class got scholarship money, and by and far, most of it's for the education. And so again, never take this place for granted. It's a great place. It's just full of a lot of great people, and I'm very lucky to be here, just like we all are. The general public doesn't really see how close of a family we are, and that can't be underemphasized, and seeing those types of things lets me know one of the reasons why we're going to accomplish great things this year, because we're a close-knit group. We're a family, and really enjoy coaching these young men, and they've worked extremely hard. We got 5 games on the road to start the season. Anything can happen when you go on the road. What is the adversity that we're going to have to overcome? Because it will happen. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about seeing how close of a unit we are to overcome anything that anybody throws in our way. And it will happen. It happens every year. You just don't know what it is. But I feel like we're a close enough unit that we will overcome that adversity. But the other day, I made the players write goals. I made them write goals down. I made them write an individual goal, a team goal, and then a human goal. How do you want to be better as a human being? So they wrote those 3 goals down. I was looking at them, and Bo Holland put in his goal, I want to lead the team in sacks, and he had a couple more goals down. And then he put, which I thought was interesting, I want to make sure Styles Moore is ready after I leave. It doesn't get any better than that, right? You got a guy that's leaving. He wants to make sure another young player is ready for when he leaves. That's when you know you got a top-notch program. That's when you know that the older guys are trying to leave a legacy. And Bo's not the only one that thinks that way, I promise you. They are trying to leave a legacy for the younger ones. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, you know, I got Cade and Amari spending the night together. I got Bo making sure a freshman, you know, is not going to let the program down when Bo's gone. We're getting there. We are real close to, I think, doing some amazing things. And that's after saying we just won a state championship by 40. I want to just recognize those guys. You know, it's probably, I think it's debatable, but probably the best freshman class since I've been here, going into my 4th year. Again, that's debatable, but they've been with us through thick and thin. It's not easy. Most coaches, you know, they have a freshman staff, and we just didn't have the number, you know, or the wherewithal to get that done. So these guys have kind of been thrown to the wolves a little bit, and they have done an outstanding job. I can tell you that, an absolutely outstanding job. Usually you got 4 or 5 freshmen quit. We didn't have any. Not one quit. They've been working hard and getting after it. And like I tell, you know, don't rest up though, because there's more coming. Our youth league just beat Knoxville West 56-0. So there's kids coming, right? So keep working, but definitely excited about the future and what this freshman class have done. I really think they have done a great job. We are extremely excited about this football season. We have an outstanding team. We have a great group of players, but that's the key, is team. Are we going to come together as a team? Are we going to be able to handle the adversity that's undoubtedly going to happen? I believe we are. I'm very confident. I talked to a lot of different coaches. Don't even mention repeat. Don't even put it in their head. I mean, I just don't think that way. From day one, we're not only talking about repeating, we're talking about being the best team in the state of Tennessee. We're talking about being the best team to ever play in the state of Tennessee. You know, why not set your goals high, right? And that's how I think. That's how I want our players to think, and that's what we're shooting for. We want to be mentioned as one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. So we're definitely excited about the season and ready to go, and appreciate all your help, everything you guys do. I've said it before, it takes all of us as one. We got plenty of people throwing arrows at us from outside. Let's not have it happen in here, right? We're all one, and we'll accomplish great things this season.
And the starting lineup on the defense for the Irish. Number 3, Amari Rogers. Number 6, DJ Mitchell. Number 10, Jack Somprak. Number 22, Joe Fluker. Number 31, Josh Brown. Number 36, Chase Kirshen. Number 21, Tony Scott. Number 43, Bo Holland. Number 56, Diego Carvajal. Number 60, Charlie Connors. And number 61, Joe Healy.
Welcome to Blaine Stadium and Holland Field, Irish fans. I'm Minnesota Viking and proud Catholic graduate Harrison Smith. We'd like to take a moment to thank the following major sponsors of this year's Irish football team.
Smith Built Homes, Tennessee Orthopedic Clinic, La Rosa's Pizza, Olive Garden, H3 Sports, Double Dogs Restaurant, Clancy's Tavern on Gay Street, and the Tennessee National Guard.
And to all Irish fans, alumni, and our sponsors, thanks for making Knoxville Catholic Athletics and your Catholic high school one of the best in East Tennessee. As always, go Irish!
Back to return for the Trojans, number 94, Parker Gare. Parker Gare on the return. Brought down by Jake Mahoney. It's a Food City 1st and 10, Trojans. Handoff to Damian Blevins. Brought down by Bo Holland. It's 2nd and 12. Four-backs pass complete to Jacob Metler. Tackled by Tony Scott. It's 3rd and 4. Four-backs pass intended for Jacob Metler. Broken up by number 21, Tony Scott. It's 4th down. Amari Rogers on the run, on the return, takes it in for the Fighting Irish touchdown. The two-point conversion is complete to number 21, Tony Scott. With 10:51 to go in the first quarter, your new score. The Fighting Irish 8, your West High Trojans 0. Attention UT sports fans, here's your chance to win 2 tickets to see the Vols in action at Neyland Stadium. For your chance to win, just visit the Citizen Tribune Fan Zone. Fans, turn to page 9 and 15 in your Citizen Tribune Kickoff Classic Fan Guide. And if you have Lamar Brown signature, go to the Citizen Tribune Fan Zone to claim your prize. Set to kick off for the Fighting Irish, number 93, Ian Suter. Jacob Harrell on the return. Tackled by number 43, Bo Holland. Trojans take over first down and 10 at their own 25. Off to number 2, Damian Blevins. Tackled by number 36, Chase Kirchin. The result of the play is a Food City 1st and 10. Fullback keeps. Tackled by number 10, Jack Somperoff. The result of the play is another Food City 1st and 10. Fullback's pass intended for Jake Mettler, intercepted by number 36, Chase Kirchin. Fighting Irish will take over first down and 10 from their own 40. Complete to Amari Rogers for the Fighting Irish touchdown. Paxton Robertson to attempt the extra point. The extra point is good. The new score with 9:52 to go in the first quarter, the Fighting Irish 15, Trojans 0.
A plane has crashed into the World Trade Center.
Barack Obama, 47 years old, will become the president-elect. Bin Laden is dead.
Set to kick off for the Fighting Irish. Ian Souter. Back to return for the Trojans. number 14, Jacob Harrell, and number 24, Grant Meisenheimer. To Damian Blevins, brought down by Jake Semperoff. There is a flag on the play. Quarterback's pass intended for Isaiah Sims. Broken up by number 4, Jeffrey Wood. There is a flag on the play.
Pass interference. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty. First down.
It's a Food City 1st and 10. Handoff to number 2, Damian Blevins. Brought down by a host of Fighting Irish. It is 2nd and 13. Handoff to Damian Blevins. Brought down by Cade Mays. It's 3rd and 14. Quarterback's pass complete to Damian Blevins. Knocked out of bounds by Jeffrey Wood. It's 4th down. It's a Bow timeout brought to you by Bojangles. Be sure to check out the back of your admission ticket for a buy one, get one free offer. Morristown location only.
more people trust Morristown Hamlin healthcare system last year? Maybe it's our compassionate, highly skilled ER with round-the-clock emergency surgical services. The area's only cath lab for heart attack patients. Our comprehensive regional cancer center with personalized treatment plans. The only local hospital delivering our next generation of babies. And all part of the region's top-performing healthcare network. Morristown Hamlin Healthcare System, a member of Covenant Health.
After the punt, Fighting Irish will take over first down and 10 from their own 34.
Welcome to the Irish Streaming Network here. We had a couple technical difficulties here with our feed tonight, so we appreciate you being patient with us. Just had a pass break up on the sidelines. Morristown West breaks up the pass from Chase Cunningham. Here with Jason Surlis, I'm Howie Somprak here on the Irish Streaming Network, sponsored by Smith-Built Homes. Jason, to say the Irish have had a fast start would be an understatement, wouldn't it?
There is no doubt. There is no doubt. I think if Coach Matthews could give you his best-case scenario, this certainly would be it. Two very quick scores. A punt return by Amari Rogers, who's been known to do a few of those here and there, and also a three and out first series. Then Chase Carson with a big pick going into the second series. Irish get the ball back, and bam, 65-yard bomb to Amari again. So great protection from the offensive line. Chase Cunningham knows what to do with it if he gets that kind of time.
You got that right. And on the long third down there, Chase Kirshen's your third down guy, isn't he?
He absolutely is. However, when you've got a big bruising running back like Josh Brown coming back there, he just motored somebody.
He really picked it up at the end of the year last year, didn't he?
He has terrific vision. He's kind of cuts before people are getting to their spots. Great young running back. He's only a junior, so we have him for another year. He is just kind of
dangerous tip there. You don't see many high school running backs that are 6'3", do you? Kind of looks like Eddie George.
You certainly don't. He comes from a long line of great athletes. His dad, Terry Brown, of course, is a UT Ball for Life. His older brother played here at Catholic a few years ago and was a big contributor to our success.
2nd and 10 for the Irish.
Good hard run by Jeffrey Wood. He's the speed guy, Howie. You got Brown for the big back, and Jeffrey Wood's the speed guy.
You've got for the Trojans, Jason, you got big number 9, Elijah Brown, that was on the hit there, that was an all-state linebacker last year. Pass out to Amari Rogers. We know what he does after the catch, don't we?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow, another touchdown. I guess we'd consider that a long drive for the Irish, about 6 plays. And if you single cover Amari, that's what you're going to get.
That's right. Coach Matthews kind of worked every angle of the field on that drive. And that was simply a 5-yard out route by Amari, but like you said, he knows what to do with it. The cornerback kind of tried to
look him off a little bit.
Inside. Went too far inside. You never want to give an athlete like Amari Rogers the sideline like that. You want to make sure you're pushing him into the other 10 guys because it takes 11 guys to stop him.
Oh, yeah.
22-0.
Again, just less than 6 minutes in. Coach Matthews couldn't have scripted it any better. You know, talking to Coach Brown, before the game, head coach of the Trojans. Really solid coach, great program over there. One of his keys to the game, Jason, he said, was making sure that they limit the Irish big plays. He knows they have one of the most explosive offenses in the state, but they either wanted to make them have some long drives where they get them out of their rhythm, and definitely have some stops. Right now, 3 straight touchdowns, one on a punt return and 2 pretty quick on offense. I would say that's really not looking good for the Trojans right here.
No, and I think it's easier said than done. I think you're going to have every coach that the Irish play this year say the same thing. And I tell you, Coach Brown has done a tremendous job up here with Morristown West. They've had great success. He's a very good coach, but like I said, you can game plan all you want, but your team has to execute when you come out here. And the worst case scenario for Morristown West is kind of happened in front of our eyes here.
Well, right now the Irish, talking to Coach Matthews, have 9 of their 11 starters on offense have a college offer. That's very rare, isn't it?
Very rare, very rare. I've been around Catholic for 15 years altogether now, and this by far is the most deep, most athletic team. They've got size, they've got speed, and like I said, they've got deep. They're 2 and 3 deep at almost every position.
Well, and with most of the line back, you got to be impressed with 2 freshmen that have gained starting roles on the offensive line.
Absolutely, no question.
Again, the Trojans, rightfully so, very high on Damian Blevins, taking over for DeAndre Delaney, that is now playing for Wake Forest, who was the star for the Trojans last year. Oh, close to another interception right there. Jack Somperak, Chase Kirshen break it up. Kirshen got a little dinged right there. I hope he's okay. He's getting up a little slow.
Tried to get a quick hot pass there going up the middle, but I tell you, Somperak and Kirshen are 2 incredibly smart football players. Their football IQ is real high. They can read that kind of stuff.
One thing I know about you, Coach Surlis, you're not giving up the middle of the field when you're a DB coach. Talking to Coach Greer, that was one of his main goals. Here we go, a good pass rush.
Great pressure by Joe Healy and Nick Lovely.
Do you think we have grounding there? Could it be grounding, or do you think it was roughing? I didn't see any.
I didn't see anything that would indicate a roughing. I think
he didn't throw it past the line of scrimmage. I think he's asking the official.
Yeah, it's a roughing call. Or not a roughing call, I beg your pardon. It's a grounding.
Yep.
Morristown West fullback, he's a good-looking kid. He's a big kid. Thought maybe they would have called him in the grass there.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Morristown West would prefer that they did.
And talking to Coach Brown, you make a good point. He's a big kid. He throws a nice ball. Very good leader. Most of these receivers, sophomores, juniors, a couple seniors, they've been around him for the last 3 years. A lot of good chemistry. Coach Greer said that pass rush would be key, and right then they got to him.
Uh-oh.
Nice looking ball there.
The backfield.
This could be 6 right here.
Boy, that's just what Morristown West needed. Beautiful over-the-top pass.
And
number back, and that's their big play guy right there. Is that was that Blevins? Damian Blevins?
Yes, sure was. It sure was. He got separation, and Somperak couldn't make up the ground to be able to get him there. But definitely the corner got a little aggressive. Blevins put on a good fake to the sideline, did a wheel route, and that was one of the things Coach Greer was concerned about, is they run good wheel routes. They kind of bait you to the sideline, and you can see where they kind of set that up, throwing to him a couple times to that sideline.
Absolutely, a great call from Coach Brown. They needed that. Kind of, release Blevins out of the backfield. I think it was a corner or a linebacker there that peeked in the backfield for 1 second, lost control of Blevins, and he got separation. He took it to the house. He knows what to do with it.
Jason, don't you like a quarterback taking a big hit and then standing in the pocket like that and delivering a deep ball like that? Okay. There's not many high school quarterbacks that throw a deep ball as nice as that kid right there.
That's exactly right. Beautiful, beautiful ball. Blevins didn't break stride on that. I think the key to that play was the protection, though. His offensive line gave him protection. I think maybe with a 3rd and 23, the Irish kind of sat back there and, figured, hey, we're going to give them the short stuff. And sometimes when you do that, you give up the big plays. Relax a little bit on those long 3rd downs. 6:16 in the first quarter, 22-7. The Irish are leading. DJ Mitchell gets the squib kick. Morristown West decides not to kick it to Rogers.
Good move.
DJ Mitchell knows what to do with the ball. Irish offense back on the field.
Right here, if you're the Trojans, you got to think you got to get a stop here, don't you?
No question, no question. There's so much time on that clock still. They've got the momentum.
Could be looking at a TV timeout here. Or radio timeout.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, there's a flag on the play. You couldn't see because of the
late hit, maybe.
Looks that way. I did not hear a call. Okay, he's about to make the call right now. The left side of that offensive line is Cade Mays and Cooper Mays. How about that?
Oh, yeah, here's Hunter Counts.
Junior.
Faked us out there.
Chase Cunningham on the keeper.
Hunter Counts in the backfield in the game for the Irish.
I think right now Coach Matthews is telling Chase Cunningham to make sure he gets down on the ground a little quicker. Took kind of a shot there.
Sure
Chase
did.
is not the biggest of guys.
Mason Human was in on that tackle. He's another good linebacker that they're very high on. Blakely looked upfield on that one, got excited, I think, for his first catch of the year and looked upfield just a little too early. This brings up a 3rd and 4 for the Irish. Right here with the Irish offense. Jason, you think you're looking at 2-down territory here past midfield?
Well, it looks like a moot point at this point.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it may
we
be
dropped
a fumble.
We
Maybe
dropped
a
it.
fumble.
They're not cheering on the sideline, so it looks like the Irish might have recovered there.
The white hat saying we got a first down on that one. I definitely think that was 4-down territory. Coach Matthews is an aggressive coach. He has faith and confidence in his offense, and he's got great confidence in himself and calling the right play. Screen to Kirshen in the middle.
Takes 3 or 4 to bring him down.
I think the Irish coaching staff will take a 7-8 yard gain on first down every time.
Oh, yeah. With Cunningham and Kirshen, that's almost like a handoff, isn't it?
Absolutely.
A little quick pass out of the slot.
Quick pass to Rogers. If I'm Morristown West at this point, I'm going to probably shade 2 guys on Amari Rogers. What do you think?
All night, there's no doubt. You got to make somebody else beat you. Where Chase is an unbelievable possession receiver. He's not obviously as explosive to break it as Amari.
You're right. You also have Cam Blakely, who's a 6'5" junior
There's Woods
receiver.
coming on a bubble screen. Uh-oh.
Good block down here by Cam Blakely. Chase Kirshen out there leading the way.
Looked like a little clothesline at the end of that play, but no call. Jeffrey Woods seems a little upset. I don't know if you saw that. Kind of got a hold of his neck on that tackle.
Did. Another first down. Irish on the 14-yard line of Morristown West.
handoff to Jeffrey Wood.
Jeffrey Wood's on the carry again. It's another 5 or 6.
You know, you look at the Trojans right now, and they're looking kind of winded. And again, as you said, we're barely halfway through the first quarter.
Absolutely, and that's Coach Matthews' plan. He wants the defensive linemen there. He wants their knuckles dragging by halftime. Just missed to.
Got a flag here. Probably holding territory. You know, if you're the.
It looked like it was a late flag, so I'm wondering.
Okay, could have been something extracurricular. If you're Morristown West, do you almost decline this because you give Catholic basically 2 plays?
You're right, and you're giving them a little bit more room.
Yeah.
To work. I think that's a tough call.
If it's 15, I think definitely it looks like it's a 10, and they're going to take it.
Blocking in the back. It's a really strange call
that
for
is.
a passing down.
You know, this is the first team that Coach Matthews has had for 4 years, and as organized and as efficient as he runs the program, you can definitely see the benefits of that with this team, can't you?
Absolutely. You know, every one of those guys on that sideline for the Irish are bought into it. They know the system now. They've got confidence in our coaching staff. The coaching staff has confidence in them, so it's a great recipe for a championship football team.
You know, we saw an unbelievable transition. Obviously, the schedule this year, like last year, is brutal the entire year, but your first 5 games, you play at least 4 teams that have won the state in the last couple of years, and seeing this team come together with the leadership of a lot of the current junior seniors was great. But talking to Coach Matthews even today on the way up to the game, he said little things like the team meal where coaches usually have to rein guys in a little bit. Let's calm down. Let's go about it this way. They didn't have to say a word. As a coach, isn't that a comforting feeling knowing that your juniors and seniors are handling a lot of that load?
Absolutely, and the expectations are high. And you know, Coach Matthews, his job is to make these guys into football players, but he's also, you know, making them into young men as well. So teaching them how to act, insisting on being quiet on the bus rides, and make sure you're concentrating on, you know, what you need to do. Chase Kirsten just got hit down the middle for a beautiful pass by Cunningham.
He just rarely coughs up the ball after contact, doesn't he?
Right.
He's amazing.
He's a strong young man. He's got strong hands. He is just a pure football player.
Look at this formation.
This is something you don't see very much. I think, we got an illegal procedure. I'm wondering if we had 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. The line judge called that. Unless somebody moved early. Encroachment on the offense. It's another interesting call. So that'll be a 5-yard penalty. The Irish push back to the 6-yard line. He showed a tight formation there. That's something you haven't seen in the past. I think that is the knock actually on the spread offense.
Right,
I agree. Get down and you need a short yard. Jeffrey Woods just stopped for no gain there. Now it's 2nd down and goal. Let's see what Coach Matthews dials up here. Still 2 minutes, 55 seconds in the first quarter.
Amari Rogers is single covered right now, which is absolutely baffling to me.
There he is. Nope.
Oh my gosh, he caught that football.
Almost.
It was out of
Almost.
one hand.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Cunningham was trying to throw that ball away, or I would guess that he was, just throw it up, let Amari do his thing. How many times last year did he go up over somebody and catch it?
And it seems like, Jason, if it's even in his catching radius, it seems like almost 9 out of 10. I mean, I haven't seen anything like it.
He has amazing athletic ability, but it doesn't come easy. It's coming. He's worked for everything that he's got. Looks like Cunningham got it back to the original spot. It sure
Boy,
looked like he was in there.
I thought he was across the goal line right there, but we don't have replay.
That's
so
right. That's right.
The only thing that might have happened, hard to see where the knee hit, but it looked like he was off the ground. I thought he had it.
4th down and 3
Going
inches.
back to a point you made earlier, I don't think Matthews wants to see that a whole lot, though.
No. Chase Cunningham's under center.
I think Counts is going over the top.
Oh, he stopped. He is stopped. Morristown West had a great push. Their defensive line penetrated. And
you know what, Jason?
Stop.
That right there is a sign of a heck of a coach, good coach football team right there.
Absolutely.
They have not given up in this game.
Absolutely.
Right now, that's other than the big offensive touchdown. Would you not say that's the biggest play of the game for them?
Without a doubt, no question. 4th and 3 inches, and they rose up to the occasion. You know, when it's down there, it's offensive line against defensive line, and they got the best of the Irish on that one.
Coach Brown's been here since '99. He's got 2 coaches on his staff that he coached. They were tremendous players for him. It definitely seems similar to a situation at Catholic where it's a family environment.
Absolutely.
And right there, you have to have a football team of character to not throw in the towel right there.
Yeah, those guys, you can tell both of these teams are proud to wear those uniforms. We're working hard. Both teams are. Under 2 minutes now in the first quarter, 22-7. The Irish are leading the Trojans of Morristown West.
And you know, obviously we're cheering for the Irish. We're partial, but fans would rather see a little more competitive game, don't you think?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think after Morristown, obviously the Irish got off to an amazingly fast start.
Wow.
But Morristown is still fighting.
Is that Josh Brown there
That
with the
was.
big hit on the end? Well, he's really, as you said, a lot of these guys, the weight program is alive and well. That's Coach White that runs the weight program.
Coach Matthews and Coach White. Yes, and they, you know, you very rarely see a high school kid put on 20 pounds plus in a year, but just, you know, I can look at 6 different kids out here. They're just different. Just their bodies are completely different. And that's because they start that program in January and continue it all the way throughout the summer.
Another deep ball. Levin's got a little bit of separation. Now that if anything, that should be offensive.
That's right.
DJ Mitchell, the other guy had his hands in DJ Mitchell's midsection.
Yeah, there's no question that's an offensive pass interference. What I'm thinking though, because of the back judge who called it, I'm thinking they're going to call it on the Irish. The guy that was in great position to call it was down here, and he didn't. He didn't see anything like that. It's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate call.
And talking to both Coach Matthews and Coach Greer, they're really high. DJ Mitchell's always been an explosive receiver. As you know, he was hurt most of the year, dinged up anyway, played most of the year, but they're very happy with his progress as a corner. And right there, he blanketed number 11. Who do we have? I don't see him on the roster.
There's Blevins on a little give to the outside. Tony Scott in there, Joe Fluker in there, Nick Lovely in there.
As you talked about earlier, he's getting up a little gimpy there. They didn't let him have the edge, turned him in, and got a few more bodies to help out.
Tony Scott set the side. He set the end on that one, and you know that's his job. His job is to contain. Don't let anybody get outside you. Let your buddies on the inside clean them up. Long pass, Jeffrey Woods, great coverage.
He made a play on the ball that time. I'm not sure if he ever located it, but he was looking for it. They'll let you have a little hand contact if you're back looking at the ball, right?
That's right. There was a little hand fighting there. Jeffrey Woods is, you know, in my opinion, one of the better cover guys in the state of Tennessee. He gets in a deal where his confidence is shaking a little bit and he panics a little bit, but he has got he's got outstanding feet. He's already committed to Chattanooga, UT Chattanooga.
That's a big pickup for them.
Absolutely.
Nice tip on the ball by Cade Mays.
It's hard getting over that 6'6".
It is. It's nice to have him on third down, isn't it?
Absolutely. Looks like they had the screen set up pretty well there, so that's a big play by Mays.
That's the longest first quarter I can remember in a long time.
Absolutely.
And it could just as easily be 29-7 Irish, but again, with the goal line stand there by the Trojans, We still have a ball game right here, 22-7 at the end of the first quarter. Again, the Irish Streaming Network brought to you by Smithfield Homes. Very fortunate to have the support of Rocky and Marianne Smith, Tom Smith, Smithfield Homes to help make these HD broadcasts possible, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. Terrific family. You know, at Knoxville Catholic, we're so blessed that we have such great support from the entire community, but certainly Rocky and Marianne have been fantastic. And the Irish Streaming Network would not be possible without them.
We'll take a 1-minute break. We will be back with you at the start of the second quarter on the Irish Streaming Network, sponsored by Smithfield Homes.
Give us 120 seconds. Yeah. Make it wet. What's up, big boy? Has Chase had his first game yet?
Yeah, he's had 2.
How they done?
We lost both. Well, one was a scrimmage. We lost our first one. We had a 9-play drive, scored a touchdown, and then we couldn't do anything after.
Wow.
We lost 12-6.
Rogers and Kirshen back deep to receive the punt from the Trojans on a 4th and 7. Starting here the second quarter.
I don't know if you saw that, Howie. It's a bad snap. It was a great job by the Morristown punter to pick up that snap and get the punt off.
Yeah, I missed that. The kind of a line drive punt. Not a very returnable punt, and that's really what you want for the
Absolutely.
Trojans.
If you have, if you're punting to Kirshen and Rogers, you definitely don't want to punt it to them.
The Irish offense a little out of rhythm last series. Would you agree with that? It just wasn't quite clicking like the first couple.
I think I think what you forget is, they drove the ball right down the field again. I think we get spoiled sometimes.
I agree.
You see the big plays. The bottom line is they didn't put it in the end zone. So, Coach Matthews is your typical football coach. You ask him how practice was, he'll just say, it was okay. He never. I think he just has high expectations, and he's definitely going to be upset not putting that in, having it 3-4 inches from the goal line and not getting that in.
That you bring up a good point, because that was a little bit of a sluggish drive, some plays where they didn't get much out of them, and they still should have scored.
Right.
Cunningham seeing something downfield.
Another flag. A lot of hand checking.
Looked like Maury got pushed and held. They didn't really give him a chance to make an attempt at that ball.
I wonder if this will be a makeup call for that last one that they called on the Irish.
Amari, you got to take a 15-yard penalty over a 70-yard touchdown any day of the week. So.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be pass interference on Morristown West.
And right there, they probably could have gotten away with that without touching Amari. They had 2 guys inside of him and double covering him, and really most of the game they're not shadowing him and having double coverage, which is really amazing. On this play, it looks like they might.
I think what makes it easy for the officials to call is when they just don't look back at the ball. They're in great position. They just don't look back at the ball. That's in your hand checking. They're going to get that call every time.
You're right. Well, if it doesn't rain, we can't beat this weather, huh?
There is no question. This is wonderful. Thad Simmerly made a nice play on Amari Rogers that time. Morristown West has some big boys. They got some good-looking football players. Their nose guard in there, I can't get his number, but he is a giant.
He's big.
Number 79, Bryson Blevins, 6'4", 344.
344, yep.
That's a tall order for Jake Coffey, or the Irish center. He's about 245, so that guy's got him by 100 pounds.
Here's a 3rd and 7, key play for the Irish. See what Cunningham does here. There's a nice catch by Blakely.
Great catch.
Turns it upfield.
Cam Blakely, 6'5", 200, around 200. Great hands. He dropped one early. I know he's hard on himself. He probably went back to the sidelines, told himself there's no more drop passes. It's a great shot by Chase Cunningham. Good firm pass. That's a play they call sticks. When you need 3, 4, 5 yards, you go, tell your receiver, go right to the flag, right to the first down, sit and squat, and tell the quarterback to put it there. And that's exactly how they executed it.
It looks like Blakely putting his head down. If they get this, definitely seems like a more aggressive receiver, more physical this year than last year.
Yes, definitely. Great kid, had a couple big touchdowns in the state championship game last year for the Irish. Had a great end of the season. You know, it's tough to match up with a kid that size, 6'5". He's got athletic, he can jump, but you know, you can put a kid out there like that, a big kid who runs well, but if he can't catch the ball, he's not going to do you any good, and that's certainly not the case with Cam.
And just a junior too.
Absolutely, great hands.
Woods can get by this guy. He's got some running room.
Great
nice block by Amari Rogers.
Great peel-back block by Amari Rogers.
You know, when talking to both Coach Greer and Coach Matthews today, one thing Coach Greer pointed out that Coach Matthews supported was they talked about the most improved player on the team might be Amari Rogers, which is amazing. But it's a lot of the things he's doing besides just catching the ball. Obviously, as a defensive coach, you got to appreciate that.
You're right, Howie. And Chase Kirshen in for the score. Made it look easy.
As we talked about earlier, one guy's not going to bring him down.
No question. Two guys missed him on that one. You know, getting back to Amari, Howie, it's just refreshing to see a kid who has got that kind of talent, got that kind of skill level, you know, committed already to the University of Clemson to play football, and he's peeling back and blocking guys, and on the offense, you know, it's so easy for a guy to get a big head. That's certainly, you know, something that Amari is not. The kid is just a phenomenal young man, works hard every play.
And obviously that helps your leadership capabilities of your stars when they're humble guys. When you say Kirshen, Amari, guys like that, they're nice, they're humble, they're good to the younger kids. It makes a difference.
Well, it's good that, you know, you need leaders, and those guys, you know, you can have leaders that are vocal, you can have leaders that aren't, but, you know, Amari's kind of a quiet young man. So is Chase, but, you know, when those younger guys see them out there working plays where the ball's going away from them, and working hard and getting blocks and in practice being out there first, you know, and being the last ones to come off the practice field, it's contagious, and those younger guys just, you know, it's lead by example. So Amari Rogers, I love watching that kid. Every time you see him in school, he's got a milk jug of water he drinks constantly.
That's awesome.
You know, that kid is
trying to do everything possible.
He is, and there's no, you know, it's not an accident he is as good as he is. He's made it happen. Looks like we got some new faces out there on kickoff. A couple freshmen, Kennedy Gore.
Number 1, Ryan, sophomore Ryan. What's that?
Taylor Shannon, number 2. Uh-oh.
This could be all the way.
Yep. How many times? Great job. Oh, great job not giving up on that play.
Look at Mahoney. Is that Mahoney
Jake
right there?
Mahoney.
45. That's a football player right there.
Absolutely. How many times do you see a kick returner muff the kick?
And everybody kind of relaxes a little bit.
Everybody relaxes or overruns it and gets out of their lanes, and there you go. It's happens at all levels.
I would love to see that replay because I think Jake Mahoney was about 15 yards out of that play to be able to come back. Obviously, the kicker slowing him down helped save it right there. Even though he didn't make the tackle, he set it up for Mahoney.
Absolutely. Could have been a huge play from Morristown.
Right here, looks like the Irish going with their ones to see if they can make a stop here in the red zone. Looks like
it looked like he wanted to throw that ball, didn't it?
Look at Tony Scott right there.
Great job. Disciplined defense. DBs.
As you said, with Tony Scott, a rare 4-year starter for the Irish. Talking to Coach Greer today, he feels like he's been a really good player for him the last couple of years. They're really expecting him to be great this year and just have reckless abandon and just take it to another level.
He's having a great game. He's doing a great job of containing, setting the edge. Right now it's Irish 29, Morristown West Trojans 7. 9 minutes left in the second quarter.
Tip ball by Bo Holland right there. I love his motor, don't you? He just goes hard every play.
Absolutely, absolutely, Howie. He has got a motor that just does not stop. It's another kid who's a senior who's been primarily a rush end last few years. He's added about 20 to 25 pounds to his body. Now he's an everyday down, player. Third and 17 for Morristown West. They're going to their big.
Oh, they got it. They got it. Looks like it was over D. Is that DJ?
Mitchell.
Looks like DJ got crossed up.
He did, and he lost track of where the ball is, and it's a great job by number 11. I don't think we have him on our.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't list him.
Big receiver though, and he just made it. He made an adjustment on the route. So DJ never saw the ball. Was in good position, but overall.
And one of the things I know you like about DJ is his athletic ability. He's got loose hips. He can change direction. Every now and then, you're a DB coach. They're going to lose footing sometimes.
That's right.
It's just reality.
That's right. Listen, there's never been a quarterback that has completed every single pass in a season, and that's what I used to tell my DBs is you got to have short memories.
Yep.
If you're going to give up plays, that's part of the game. Peyton Manning doesn't throw for 500 yards, by accident. It's the game is set up for the receivers to have an edge. It takes tremendous athletes to play back there, and the big thing is if you get down on yourself and you're if DJ's going to put his head down and the coaches will pull him because you got to have short memories. It's part of the game. You put it behind, you get back out there, and you do it again.
The crazy thing right now, with 9:05 to go in the second quarter, if Morristown was to get a big play on defense, let's say a pick six, it's a one possession game. Is that not unbelievable?
It is, and it shows how well they're coached. These kids could have given up. They were down big. But they're not, they're scratching and clawing and staying in this game.
They really are. As we talked about earlier before we were on the air, one of Coach Brown's keys to the game is when they have an opportunity to make a play offensively, they need to make it. Right there was one of the first defensive breakdowns for the Irish, and they made the play. They took advantage.
What's going to give the coaches gray hairs on that is it was a 3rd and 17.
Oh.
3rd and 17.
Well, and that's a little bit where you miss Austin Rowan, isn't it? Because Austin Rowan would have been in on the quarterback.
You're right. Nice squib kick by Morristown West.
And in these first couple games, don't you think they're probably looking for that breakout guy on the D-line? Who's going to be the main disruptor, somebody? And obviously with losing a guy like Rowan, it really can't be one. You need to be defensive line by committee, don't you?
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say is you can't replace an Austin Rowan.
Yeah.
He was just such a tremendous defensive player. Terrific young man. We certainly miss him, and he's at the game today. I saw him, and he's fighting for a starting job at ETSU right now. And
they're lucky to have him, aren't they?
Absolutely. But getting back to your question, it has to be a committee. It has to be. Charlie Connors is having a really good game. He's a 195-pound defensive tackle. He's a tough kid if he's going up against these monsters from Morristown West. But Joe Healy's been in there. Bo Holland's been coming off the edge well. The defense is playing well.
They really are.
A couple breakdowns have cost them.
Yep. And ultimately, that touchdown was set up by the, possibly having some young guys getting a shot on special teams. And I think that's one of the things a lot of coaches don't do well in high school is when they're winning big, give the young guys a shot.
Yeah. Well, this is the reward. They've been practicing for 6 weeks, hitting each other, and the anticipation of this game. It's not only for the guys that are starting. It's for the guys that. The freshmen and the guys that are getting their brains beat in for the last 6 weeks being scout team players. And Coach Matthews and his staff does a tremendous job of getting the young ones in. But he's not going to put them in if he doesn't think they can succeed. He's not going to put them in there to fail. So
coaching as long as you have in the grind of the season, isn't it great when the young guys get in? Doesn't it help the spirit of practice the next week?
Absolutely.
It looked like Woods was not on the same page with Cunningham right there. It didn't look like he thought he was any type of hot route right there.
Right. Jeffrey never looked back for the ball. I think maybe Chase had to get rid of that ball a little bit earlier than what he wanted to because Morristown West brought some heat.
9 times out of 10, that's usually error on the receiver, isn't it? The quarterback's usually on the right page there.
That's correct. Very, very important 3 and out for the Trojans.
They're absolutely, almost blocked there.
That was close.
Number 40, Matthew Hayes, almost got a hand on that. Look at it, he knows it.
Short punt. It's like by Ian Sauter, but he had pressure. It was good
he
to
sure
get
did.
He's been a soccer player for us. This is his first year ever playing football. So talk about a little bit of pressure putting him back there and getting a rush like that.
In his own end zone.
29-14, the Irish over Morristown West Trojans right now with 7:57 in the second quarter.
Ian's a good-sized young man, 6'1", 195, so that doesn't hurt.
Very, very tough kid, too. I believe he's a junior.
He sure is.
You know, I think, the coaching staff, you got to be happy with the offense. You got to be happy with the defense. Just a couple breakdowns, you always talk about special teams, the importance of special teams, and the Irish got off to a sizzling start just based on, Amari Rogers taking a punt back. But then you falter a little bit and you give Morristown West a big play and all of a sudden, you're back to a tough ball game here. So I think, they may have to postpone this next game until midnight at the rate we're going here, but the coaches certainly are going to have something to talk about at halftime. The good, the bad, and the ugly so far, but what would you expect for a first game of the season?
I know it. One bit of bad news for all teams in Tennessee high school football that might face the Irish in the future is Caden Cooper Mays have a little brother.
That's right.
Might be a little while, but he might be, 2000?
What is he?
2030 something?
Camp Mays. Remember that name.
Camp Mays, that's
Remember that name in about 13 years.
It'll be tough.
Four-back keeps it, and Nick Lovely blows him up. Talk about a disciplined defense, Howie. That's his only job, is to make sure nobody gets outside of him. The quarterback fakes it. Lovely has a great angle and wraps him up. Great big hit, big play for the Irish. Nick Lovely's a senior who's making the most of his opportunities. Didn't play a lot in the past, but
he sure is. And four-back executes great play fake. So
he does.
To stay at home after that really takes some discipline.
Looks like Morristown West may have moved early there.
Once again, though, they're a well-coached team. They haven't had many mistakes, many penalties. If you look at what happened in the first 2 minutes, it's basically a tied game, 15-14
right.
Irish. So Coach Brown has got to be happy with how his kids have settled in. You hate to say the kick return was almost a gimme, but as you said, 4 or 5 extra kids got in on that, probably a little bit early on that one. But hey, the coaches have confidence in their team.
Charlie Connors.
Look at that! Look at that!
Tracked him down. Tracked four-back down for a long loss on this play.
As you talked about earlier, Charlie Connors really gotten into shape in the offseason, trimmed down a little bit for a D lineman, and might not be as big as coaches would like on the D-line, but it's going to help him in tracking guys down like that.
Absolutely. I think Coach Brown would like I'm pretty sure he's going to tell four-back after that one maybe he should have thrown that away.
Yeah.
He's trying to make plays, and you can't fault him for that, but good pressure again by the Irish. Ooh.
Well, Cade Mays is a heck of an athlete, isn't he?
He sure is.
I mean, he runs around like a middle linebacker.
I don't know if that was a designed quarterback draw. My guess is it wasn't. It looked like he just saw the pressure coming and decided.